What's up, guys? Mike here with King of Avalon follower. So, a lot of people have been requesting that I do a video on a kingdom versus kingdom battle. So, if you know anything about our kingdom, Kingdom 75, we have an alliance here that has been the top alliance pretty much since the day I started the game. I don't remember anybody else ever being on top. Right now, technically, there's another alliance that has a higher power level, but that's mostly just because the actual top alliance maxed out their tech tree and had to split into some smaller alliances so they could continue donating. Anyways, as far as the kingdom versus kingdom battle goes, actually, here we go right here. The Hall of Kings, we take a look at that. There's Verking. He has been the king every single opportunity there has been to be a king. These guys have been on top since day one. They're crushing it. So it's nearly impossible for anybody else to do a throne battle or even to take part in the KVK battle unless you're willing to be one of their allies. You can see here there's an invading kingdom. I went ahead and actually scouted the invading guy. So he has 413,000 troops inside of that tower over at Avalon. Okay, you got some T10s, some T9s, a few T8s in there. Okay, this guy, he's pretty darn beefy. Yeah, definitely got a lot of troops. Now, our king, our strongest player, Verking, who's actually inhabiting Avalon right now, is way stronger than that guy. Now, I don't know if Verking is actively playing right now, or if he just threw all of his troops in Avalon and planned on having them kind of protect it while he was away. But this guy who is attacking us, he's kind of by his lonesome. A couple of other of his players were here and ported out and then have ported back in. There's one right there, a little level 20 guy. And another major alliance from our kingdom, RUS, has ported in to kind of intimidate and scare that guy. So we're going to see how this turns out. You can see right there, RUS with 37 million power. And let's see who else they've got. Bison with, what was that, 25 million power. Yeah, these guys aren't playing around. Spawn with 40 million power. these guys aren't playing around. So you can see the guy who's here from the other kingdom with 18 million power. So the point of the KVK battle is, right, you teleport in. You can only teleport into the Black Forest area, or this area with all of the trees on it. Okay, now this guy ported in. Here's his power, 74 million. So he's about 25 million less than our king. So, I mean, still ridiculously strong. Personally, I just really like his name, Dirk Diggler, and that picture. I mean, seriously, I don't know if that's real or not, but I mean, the picture at least made me laugh. So, Verking's sitting here on Avalon. Dirk Diggler's doing some dirking around, and let's go take a look at LOD. So the main alliance in our kingdom, LOD, that has now split to STM and partially LOD, and I think they have one more so they can continue donating. They're all up here, and you're seeing an awful lot of high-level castles. Yeah, really strong. They have most of the strongest players in the game, but in their alliance. You can see there's Wicked, Stronghold 28, there's SL91, 25, and then he actually just took over another account by a guy who quit the game and was a 26, and so now there's SL91 and SL911. So yeah, they're definitely very overpowered. So anyways, they have done a successful job. My hat's off to them. We have never once been taken over by another kingdom. Never. So, well done to them for being strong enough to fight off, I don't even know how many times we've done the KVK battle. We've never once been taxed. So, the plus side is they keep our kingdom safe. The downside is, if you want to get in on the KVK battles or things like that, you either have to be their ally, or I'm not 100% sure. They've got a kingdom rule that says on kingdom versus kingdom, we stand together. So I sent them an email specifically so I could make a video about the KVK stuff, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm happy to join on the KVK thing, and I never heard back from them. So I guess maybe they only take their actual listed allies. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, that is the reason why I'm not making the video myself, being up here fighting in the mix, because they kind of monopolize the whole thing. It's difficult to get in on it, and they have been the top dogs for so long. There's never even been another king other than Verking, much less from another alliance. So it's difficult for me to make videos on the throne battle or on the KVK battle because, as you can see, my little level 22 castle, beefy as it is compared to some people, would just be totally annihilated. Anyways, back to the KVK battle. So there's 4 towers in Avalon. I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability. I don't know everything about this fight because I haven't had an opportunity to do it yet. Right now, they've got 30 minutes left that they have to hold Avalon, and if they do, then we can't be taxed. They win. So from what I believe, if you invade another kingdom and you capture their Avalon, you have to hold on to it uninterrupted for 8 hours. If you hold it for 8 hours, it resets, kicks you guys all out of the kingdom, and at that point will... you'll have the option to tax it or whatever if you're the king in your own kingdom, from what I understand. So I could be wrong about this. If there's folks watching the video that have done these battles, please leave it in the comments, message me, and I'll make corrections to this video if need be. Where am I at? Okay, so we got Dirk Diggler right here doing his freaking Dirk Diggly things. He's got a couple of other guys that have ported in. One of them shielded. Most of his guys that are porting in, they're shielded. I'm assuming what they're doing is saying, hey, Dirk Diggler's sending nearly all of his troops down to this tower. We need to go and reinforce him so he's not open to attack. So I'm assuming that's what they're doing. That's why you're seeing a couple of them poured in down here. We've got Hoot with 18 million power. And it means he's probably got about 175,000 troops, something like that. RUS is showing up in numbers, and this RUS Postal guy just popped in, as well as RUS Cortana. Great name. Love the Halo references. We're going to see what's going on here. Yeah, RUS is here in force. Now, they're not direct allies with LOD, but they have a non-aggression pact, and I think when it comes down to wanting to protect themselves from being taxed, they'll show up and do some defense. You can see right here, one of the alliances cast the spell that kills a bunch of troops in an area. I can't think of the name of it right now. But essentially, any troops in a 3x3 area, you can lose between 50,000 to 200,000 troops. So I'm not sure how long this spell lasts for, but it's essentially actively killing Dirk Diggler's troops, from what I understand at least. So it looks like probably that guy who's here from the other kingdom is saying, oh shoot, they're going to kill all my troops. He's pulling them back. There's Dirk Diggler. That's a great picture. Dirk Diggler with the one tower. So you might have seen the other 3 towers are still owned by STM/LOD players. The interesting thing is when you take a tower, okay, the tower can then launch attacks at Avalon, okay? And I saw one earlier before I started recording, and unfortunately I didn't get the recorder up in time, but it launches these little blasts at Avalon and apparently kills the troops in there. I mean, I don't know if it kills all of them, but kills some of them. Makes it easier for enemies to then rally Avalon. So, from what I understand, there is the Lord, Verking, can send his troops into Avalon and can just send a whole ton of troops. We'll probably scout him later and see how that goes. Hopefully they don't get too mad. I'm going to scout him, but obviously I'm not an ally of his, so I'll scout him and send him a message saying, hey man, just doing this for a video. Doomflame, there we go. Doomflame, death from above. Depending on spell charge, 5 to 20% of all stationary enemy troops in a 3x3 tile area will be killed outright. A maximum of 50,000 to 200,000 troops can be killed. Okay. So they are doom-flaming Dirk Diggler. Looks like one of his guys pulled back. There's a few more of them up there with some shields on. They're reinforcing him. I think at this point Dirk Diggler knows, and I had bounced back and forth on Kingdom Chat on my other accounts over here so I could maintain or monitor what's going on. Looks like, I think LOD/STM may have gone to their kingdom and kind of caused an uproar. I'm not sure if they took the kingdom or not, and I think these guys are here knowing they're not going to actually take our kingdom, but I think they're just here to cause a problem. That would be my guess. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. Again, if they can hold on to the kingdom for another 25 minutes, then this whole thing will be over. All of the castles that are here from other kingdoms will be instantly ported out. They get just sent back to their main kingdom. I'm not sure if they get sent back. It's probably just a random teleport when they go back. Another thing you might notice, everything moves way slower in the Black Forest. I mean way, way, way slower. So here we are. I scouted Verking. I sent one up there. 826,000 troops, T10, T9. I'm 100% sure that that is not going to be beaten by Dirk Diggler. And then you can see his reinforcement troops, another 875. So I'm assuming Verking put the first 826K in by himself of all T9 and T10, and then probably the rest of his alliance reinforced Avalon. There's no way that I could see that being taken out. So that is a lot of troops. Holy crap. Dirk Diggler with 400,000. I mean, that's respectable, but there's just no way he doesn't have a prayer of taking over Verking. So yeah, we'll see. Anyways, so it's going to continue on here. I was mentioning the scouting and the marches move way, way, way slower in Avalon. Way slower, okay? Or excuse me, in the Black Forest area, everything moves much slower. So you got to take that into consideration. What I've seen, the strategy that I've seen most people do when they do this KVK battle is, let's say you've got one alliance who's going to take the throne. You're going to send some of your top players to each one of the towers. They're each going to take the tower, and then your top player is going to take Avalon. Then you want to hold the towers and hold Avalon. I believe the strategy is you pour as many troops into Avalon as you can, so that way it can't be defeated by somebody. And then as far as the towers go, you want to hold on to those because you don't want someone else to take a tower and then launch attacks at Avalon, weakening your troops and making it easier to then come in and take it from you. So if you are the king, you get the bonus of the Great Hall, which if you go click on that button right there next to the Hunt and Spells button, there's the Great Hall. Only the king can spend all those royal coins, but there's some interesting things that can be done there. You can turn some of the coins straight into gold. You can locate other players. You can make it so that other players can't attack. There's some interesting bonuses. Also, the king can give out titles. So there's a bunch of different titles. There's like the 7 deadly sins, you know, slothfulness, laziness, that kind of stuff. And those will give like anti-boosts. What's the right word for that? I'm sorry. It's late at night, guys. I'm tired right now. Wicked with 31 million power. Jesus Christ. Anyways, the titles that you can give out. You can give out positive titles for people. There's like, I don't even know, it's friggin' sounds like a Boy Scout thing. Trustworthiness or friendly man. I don't know what they are. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But there's positive titles you can give that will boost your stats. And then there's the negative titles that are associated with 7 deadly sins that will reduce your stats. And I'm not sure how long those stay active, but the king does grant those titles or assign those titles. And then, of course, in a kingdom versus kingdom situation, if the king's alliance has taken another kingdom, the king can then choose to tax that kingdom. And from what I understand, being that we've never been taxed, the taxes are crazy. Not 100% sure. If you know anything else about this, leave that in the comments, please, because I'd love to get more information. Again, I feel like I'm relatively knowledgeable about the game. I've been playing it for a little while, but there's still a lot of things that I haven't had an opportunity to do simply because our kingdom has just been so one-sided for power for a very long time. LOD has been the top dogs. Out of the top 10 alliances, they allied themselves with everybody but I think 2 of the top 10 alliances. One of them's a non-aggression pact, and then the other 2, PXR and ourselves, we just get attacked every kill event. I mean, LOD comes and beats the crap out of us first, and then the rest of them just cycle in and destroy us, and it's just a mess, and you better shield or teleport out or do something. So it's been really difficult to level, and it's been really difficult to get ourselves into a position where we can actually do a battle like this. And unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon on this kingdom, simply because they're just like, I mean, they're an unstoppable force. It's ridiculous. But here's hoping we at least get a chance to do something fun. Maybe next kill event, I'll ask again if, or not kill event, kingdom versus kingdom event, I'll ask again if they wouldn't mind if a lowly serf such as myself would tag along if it means that, you know, they get a chance to show their beastliness on YouTube or something. I don't know, who knows. But back to KVK. So the principle behind it, I think, is pretty straightforward. You want to take the Avalon, you want to hold on to it for a certain amount of time so that you get the boost of being a king. Other people can port in and try to attack you. Now, reasonably, I would assume our own kingdom could also join in on this battle, and if we wanted to, we could attack STM/LOD. We would just be writing our own death sentence, and it really wouldn't be that smart. So Nobody's going to do that, and I don't think anybody wants to get taxed, so there's no reason for us to fight against each other now when we could just wait a day and a half and avoid the taxes. So you can see right there, a lot of people are sending reinforcements into Avalon. It's a really slow process. I mean, obviously you can still sprint your troops, but it's just a really slow process. You can see right there, Dirk Diggler must have either withdrawn his troops. I'm assuming he withdrew his troops so they wouldn't keep getting hit, but I think somebody cast something else on him up there too. It might just be the anti-teleport buff. Gosh, there's so many of them. Jeez. So all the other towers have been held by STM since I started watching. This started for me, it was at like 3 a.m. in the morning, I believe, when this Kingdom versus Kingdom battle started, and then I started recording it. And actually, I did the recording with no sound, so now I'm just going back in and narrating over it. It's been like maybe, I don't know, an hour since it happened or something like that. I'm going back in to record over it. I had my kid this morning, he was crying, and I didn't want that in the video. So, anyways, looks like that's it. That's the end, I think, right there. Yeah, so they held them off for the 30 minutes that they needed to hold them off. You can see right there all those empty marches. Everybody was forced teleported out. LOD successfully, or STM/LOD successfully defended the kingdom again. I don't really think there was ever any doubt about that. I would love to know how many troops they lost, but since I'm really not on great terms with them,